the War Museum. Fun for all the family if you like torture and ghosts. Well, the Penang War Museum is a charming hilltop fortress where history comes alive and then politely tries to murder you. So it was originally built by the British in the 1930s to defend against attacks from the wrong direction, and it was promptly captured by the Japanese in World War II, who repurposed it as a POW camp, because nothing says strategic error like pointing your guns in the wrong direction. Anyway, inside you'll find tunnels, bunkers, machine gun posts, and if that's not thrilling enough, don't worry. There are mannequins, very unsettling mannequins at that, and they lurk in dim corners reacting scenes of interrogation with all the subtlety of a haunted wax museum. And they say the place is haunted. Of course it's haunted, which makes sense. It's if I was tortured in a jungle fort with no air conditioning, I'd haunt it too. So today, the museum proudly offers educational trauma for all ages, and if you want to crawl through a claustrophobic tunnel while contemplating colonial mismanagement, you're in luck. Fancy standing in an old execution chamber whilst your tour guide casually says, "Lots of people died right here." Bingo, this is that place. It's creepy, it's historical, it's humid, and somehow there's still a gift shop.
Hans was saying that they might have brought it here just to have closure because he was so important in Malaya.
Yeah. Because he terrorized this place. So I think seeing his news, and they were upfront that it's a replica from the Philippines.
Yeah, but you had to read closely, did you?
Small print to get all that.
So what have you learnt?
What have I learnt? That I think I'd rather work in that ammunition dump, because that ammunition dump space was really quite cool. Everywhere else wasn't cool at all.
Yes.
And I'd rather be a British officer than in the Indian regiment or the Malay regiment or anything but the British regiment.
And anything but the anything other than the Brit officer class, because I think the officers probably lived down in Georgetown in a house and left the ratings up here.
No, I think they all had to live up here. Because, you wouldn't have been able to get up there quickly to take command of anything.
You rang the telephone.
Yeah.
Remember, they lost this battle here. The Japanese just walked in. This is the Kek Lok Sea. Sea meaning temple, you see. Anyway, it's the Kek Lok Sea. And it's enlightenment with a view. Now, the temple is the temple of supreme bliss. And that's exactly how you'll feel once you've climbed all 10,000 steps to get here. It's perched on a hillside in Penang's Air Itam, And this sprawling Chinese Buddhist complex is the spiritual equivalent of a mega mall, giant, ornate, and somehow still expanding. I say it's Chinese Buddhist because it's not really. It's Chinese Taoist. It's a bit of this, that, and the other. Anyway, at its heart, there has the great bronze Guan Yin, goddess of mercy, and she's standing a majestic 36.5 meters tall. And frankly, if you've seen a statue of the Virgin Mary, well, the Guan Yin statues that originally came out of China were often made by Jesuit priests, and so there is some reason for the resemblance between the statues of Mary and all that stuff. Anyway, it stands 36.5 meters tall, and it's calm and compassionate and towering over you like she knows what you did last summer. And she's flanked by an octagonal pavilion that looks like it was designed by someone with a marble obsession and access to unlimited scaffolding. You can wander deeper and you'll find the pagoda of 10,000 Buddhas and 7-story spiritual hybrids of all sorts of things built by architects who couldn't really decide between Thai, Chinese or Burmese. So they just said yes to all three. Well, you can see there's an awful lot of chinoiserie that was made around here and still being made. And it's got pictures of 18th century Europeans on it because, well, those are the people they traditionally sold all this stuff to way back in the 19th century, really, but they also were flogging it in the 18th century. So there's nothing new. Well, that brings us to the end of this little travelogue. And of course, no trip to Malaysia is a trip to Malaysia unless we go and visit our friend Hannis's East Coast resort. She owns a bit of the land round here, if not a lot of the land. The Sultan of Johor seems to own most things round here, but she's got herself a little slice of the place. And Well, it's over here
Yeah.
that I know so well because I've flown my drones across it a few times and have lost 2 rather expensive drones, and I'm sure that those had all the best shots, all the shots that I really wanted to get. But there you go, they got lost. Somewhere out there there's an anomaly and the GPS systems just don't function. So when you think you're telling them to come back, you've just told them to go out into the Indian Ocean and get lost. Anyway, here it is. It's the tropical paradise. Unlike the west coast, it doesn't really have the tourists, and it's quite shallow seas around here, so there's a lot of mud flats and an unfortunate affinity for lots of plastic which comes ashore, and Hannes and her team are forever going out there and removing it. It does seem to be an issue around all of the coasts in Southeast Asia. The amount of plastic that gets into the ocean is really quite phenomenal, and they're forever trying to clean it up. So there you go, don't use any plastic bags. There's a message for you. But of course, no trip to Malaysia is a trip to Malaysia without a good dose of Cendol, and so we'll end all this with a visit to a local Cendol shop. Okay, what are we eating here?
We are eating the food of the gods,
That's right.
otherwise known as Cendol.
Let's laugh again.
What have you got there?
That's sardine and egg bread.
Sardine and egg bread. Oh, right. Well, that goes with Cendol, doesn't it?
It goes with anything.
Because Ron's asked what this was, and I said it was the food of the gods.
But it's not shaved ice, which is a bit of a cheat. It should be shaved ice that is easily eaten. But this is more like a drink. Because the ice is cubes, right? So it's
All right.
Flowers, little bit different. Had a drink of pure sugar there.
Yeah.